Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe, and today we're taking a look at the final figures in my series of Operation Monster Force Season 1 reviews. Be sure to check out all the other reviews I've done on this set of figures. These are the final figures. I'm so happy that I was able to get through this whole wave. I can't remember the last time that I did that. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. What we have here are the SleepWalkers, and we have three different types. This one over here is the Sleepwalker Obsidian Elite Guardsman. This one is the Sleepwalker Crimson Moon Division, and this one is Sleepwalker Heavy Weapons Division. So we have three different types, and we're not going to spend too much time on the packaging. At this point, I think you guys know exactly what's going on with the packaging on these figures. They do some great work. I like how right here in the front we get a look at the figures, and they have these very cool backgrounds for them. And then, you know, when you open up the box, you're able to see the figure, and then we get this really cool comic book art. Right here, it tells us how these guys are kind of under the control of the Forgotten One. Then on the back, we get a look at the figure itself, a look at the other figures in the wave, and then some information about the conflict. And that's about it for the packaging, but enough about the pretty boxes. Let's go ahead and get these guys out and take a look. Dang, okay, so here we have the three Sleepwalkers right out of their boxes. And man, these guys are incredible. I'm having so much fun playing around with these figures. They've got all kinds of crazy accessories. There's so many different things you could do with them. They're insane. Man, I know I mentioned that the Vampire Troopers were probably my favorite in the wave. Nah, you can forget that shit. These guys are by far the best part of Operation Monster Force Season 1. And I wasn't expecting that to be the case because I just figured these were going to be like just cool troopers or whatever. But man, yeah, they killed it on these guys. They are so much fun. I love the designs. Like, this outfit definitely works for like an evil kind of soldier, you know? But man, there's so much to cover here. I think we're going to be a little chaotic in this review and maybe a little disorganized, but we'll go ahead and get through it. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at each one of these. First off, you could see that each one of them has like a different head sculpt. These two come with like all three head sculpts that we see here, like all three styles. This guy only comes with two of the styles, and we'll talk about the head sculpts and the accessories when we get there. But I just wanted to mention that before we get into the details and everything. But let's go ahead and start off with the Crimson Trooper here. This thing is insane. I love this head sculpt, like with the, you know, skull painted on the face area, the red eyes, the things on the front of the gas mask. I don't know what those are called, if they're like an exhaust thing or whatever, but those actually come off and you're able to plug other things into his mask. It's crazy. But yeah, the head sculpt is insane. I love the whole skull look and the helmet, the fin on the top. Man, it looks great. And then moving down to the body, I love like the red color that they used here. And there's a little bit of a wash in there. It looks really, really nice. Most of the buttons were painted really well. One of mine was scuffed a little bit, but I was able to touch it up. But yeah, man, the paint on him is really good. You can see there's a nice wash throughout the whole figure. He's got this thing on his arm that you're able to just slide on there. So that's kind of cool. Like if you want to have a couple of these and you want one of them to outrake the rest, you could have this on there and leave them off the other ones. So that's a cool option to have. But yeah, man, they killed it. And you know, with this overlay, like sometimes like overlays don't work really well, but on these guys, they did a great job with it because they actually left a cut like under the belt so you could still articulate everything. So that is super dope. On some of the other figures, the overlay didn't work as well as it could have. But with these guys, it turned out perfect. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Obsidian Trooper now. And this guy's awesome too, man. As I was opening these up, I wasn't sure which one I liked more. Like, first I opened him and I was, oh, I love this. He's going to be the best. And then I opened the red one. I was, oh, he's the best. And then I opened the Obsidian one and I was like, oh, he may be the best. All of them are great. But I love what they did with the paint on here. You know, they kind of outlined everything in red. Like, it's mostly black. But yeah, those, I like the way that like they outlined the pockets and everything. That is so cool. And then with his head sculpt, this one here, it's a pretty plain looking head sculpt, but it does kind of, it looks spooky and ominous, you know, but it's really dope. And then on the front here, we have like this like skull with like a sickle, I think, or a scythe. What are those things called? I think it's called a scythe. But yeah, man, like that is so dope. And then on the back, we have like these plugs that you could like plug in these cords and attach it to his backpack and all kinds of crazy stuff. I love the red on the back of the head too. That kind of stands out and looks really dope. But yeah, man, this Obsidian Trooper is, it's crazy. And then next we have the Heavy Arms Trooper. And again, man, they're all the same, but each one of them is incredible. Here we have like, he's got like a green outfit with a little bit of a wash. The wash seems the lightest on him. Like, it looks the heaviest on the red version. And the black one is just black. But yeah, they put a lot of wash on the red one. I mean, on the Crimson Division version. But the Heavy Arms one doesn't have a whole lot of wash. There's some in there, and it looks really good. And then the head sculpt he has on, man, I love it. You know why? Because it reminds me of Star-Lord. It looks just like Star-Lord. Especially with the green eyes and stuff. Oh, man, those green eyes pop. It looks amazing. But this head sculpt has a lot of great detail. Again, these things on the front come off, and then you could like plug things into there. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. But man, look at that. Then we have the vent in the back, or I mean on the side. That's crazy. Then on the back of the head, we have like these gold dots. Yeah, man, so cool. I love the designs on these guys. They look incredible. And then for accessories, all three of these figures come with a bunch of really dope stuff. It's pretty insane the amount of accessories these Monster Force figures get. With these guys, it's kind of like overwhelming. When you take these figures out of the box, there's like a bunch of accessories everywhere. It's crazy. But let's start off with the simple things. Each of these figures comes with 4 different sets of hands. So they each have a pair of gripping hands. They each have a pair of gun gripping hands. They each have a set of fists. And they each have a set of open hands. And then as far as the head sculpts go, they each come with several, but there's different assortments. So the Crimson Moon Sleepwalker comes with 3 different head sculpts. The first one is the one that has like the skull face and the helmet and the fin. That looks amazing. I love that head sculpt. That's probably my favorite out of all of them. And then he does come with the one that's kind of just like a gas mask. We already looked at this head sculpt on the Heavy Arms Sleepwalker. It's the same head sculpt that he had out of the box. And the final head sculpt is the one that came on the Obsidian Sleepwalker right out of the box. It's the one that kind of has like the flat mask and the helmet with the logo on it. So all 3 of these head sculpts are dope. And then the Heavy Arms Sleepwalker comes with those exact same head sculpts. They're just painted different colors. And the Obsidian Sleepwalker only comes with 2 out of those 3 head sculpts. So he comes with the one that we've already looked at, which is the one with the face mask and, the logo on the helmet. And the other one is the skull one. This looks really dope too. It looks great in black and white. So yeah, this head sculpt looks really nice in these colors. The white stands out on the black and the red eyes look amazing too. So yeah, this head sculpt is really nice. And what's interesting about all these gas mask head sculpts is that they all have different attachments on them right out of the box. As you can see, his has like the one that has the rivets and the different colors and stuff. And they're both the same. He has the one that has like the little slot on it and it's mostly flat. And then he has both. I don't know if this was a mistake, but yeah, this is how he came right out of the box. I was watching MCU Collector's review, and on his Crimson figure had 2 of these ones. And on Robo's review, it was set up like mine. So I don't know. At first I thought like maybe it was a mistake, and then I checked out those reviews and maybe MCU Collectors is a mistake. Who knows how it's supposed to be. All the promo images have this guy with 2 of these. So I don't know. And then even like these ones have different like attachments. So there's all kinds of different ways that you could set up these gas masks. And that, man, that's just so cool. You could like customize it to your personal liking and make it feel unique. And then as far as guns go, both the Obsidian Sleepwalker and the Crimson Moon Sleepwalker come with this type of gun. And these do look really good. I like how they made subtle differences in the 2 guns for the 2 characters. Like they're the same style, but they have different paint and stuff. But these are very cool looking weapons. They definitely have like a weird sci-fi kind of vibe to them. There's a plug in there that you could do different things with. So that's cool. And yeah, this is a dope looking gun. I like the way they look while holding it. I like the little handle right here. And then all 3 of them come with this smaller gun. And this looks really dope too. Check out the details on that. Really well sculpted. Lots of little things going on in there. The barrels have holes in them so that you can plug in your energy effects. And yeah, these look really cool. And the only difference between these on the 3 figures is, the different colors. And I like how the colors match the figures themselves. Like the green on the gun matches the eyes on this guy, and then the red on this one matches the red on his eyes, and same thing on that 3rd one. But yeah, I like these guns a lot. I think his looks the best because you're able to see most of the detail with the colors. It's not as dark, so you could see everything. Actually, you could see everything nicely on this one too. They just put the least amount of shading on this one, so you don't see as many details, but they're all there. They're all sculpted there. But yeah, I think it looks better on these 2 actually. This one's my favorite out of the three as far as this gun goes. And the heavy weapons division Sleepwalker may not come with the rifle, but he does come with this monstrosity. Look at this thing, man. This gun is humongous. It's almost as big as him. But check it out. It's really dope. There's a whole bunch of great details in there. There's two places to plug in the cords that we'll look at in just a minute. But look at all the details. I love the green on there, the coils. Got some wood back here. That looks nice. And even though it's like a huge gun, he can hold it with no problem. But it's just funny that he has like nowhere to support it with his other hand. He just kind of has to carry it like that. And then all three of these figures come with effects for their guns. And most of the effects are ones that we've seen with the other Monster Force figures. You know, like the muzzle flare effects. They're just painted different colors to kind of match the figures. Like the Obsidian Trooper and the Crimson Moon Trooper both have like red effects. And yeah, like I said, it's all pretty much the same stuff that we saw before. But they also come with like this electricity type of effect. And it's cool, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to use. It has like two pieces. This piece here has like a longer peg, and you just kind of have to stick it through this one, and then it comes out from the other side, and then you're able to like plug it into the guns. But you know, with the peg having to go through like a whole nother piece of plastic, it doesn't leave a lot of room for the peg itself to stick into the guns. Like, it can't even get in there, but it could get up into this one. But I don't even know if that's, I don't know if that's where energy would come from or what the hell. But yeah, so I mean, that's an option. You can fit like the single effect into the guns as well without going through the wider piece. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like these effects quite a bit, but I think they maybe should have left out this one here and given us something else that has a peg so we could just stick them in with no problem. It's cool to be able to change it up and stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of useless in most cases because once you stick this through, the peg isn't long enough to get through like, or get into most of the barrels. Let's see if it'll go into this one here. So let's remove that. Stick this in here. And yeah, as you can see, maybe I'm doing this wrong. I don't know. But yeah, the peg can't reach into the hole. So, I mean, I do like the effects quite a bit, but I wish they would have made them just like with regular pegs that you could stick in there and they were easy to use, you know. Unless I'm doing this wrong. Let me know in the comments if you know better. And then each figure also comes with the smoke smoldering effect for the end of the barrels. So one of the coolest things about these figures are the backpacks that they come with. As you can see, each figure gets a backpack, and looking at them like this, the backpacks look different from each other, but in reality, they're not. The backpacks themselves are exactly the same sculpt on all three of these, but the reason why they look different is because each one of them comes with a bunch of different attachments that you could put on there and kind of customize the backpack and make it look unique. I'm not going to go through every single attachment that comes with each one of these figures. It's a lot of like caps and, you know, like weird things. There's some couplings in there. There's some 90s and some, I guess this is like another style of coupling. There's just all kinds of things you could do in here to like customize the backpacks. And then each figure comes with two sets of each of these cords. We get a long cord, a short cord, and a medium cord. So each figure gets two of each of these. But yeah, let's take a look at these guys with all these attachments. So man, look at the detail on the backpack too. It looks really nice. Really well sculpted, some nice paint. And then I like the paintwork on this one a lot because there's different colors. I like the green and the red in there and the gold. This one looks nice too. With the Crimson Moon guy, there's not a whole lot going on, but it still looks good. But yeah, look at all the different things you could do with the backpacks. Like all these pieces right here are removable caps. So you could take these off and, you know, put different ones on and just kind of make things look different. Like this comes off. There's just like so many different things you could do to make it all look and feel different. As you can see, I have this thing on the top of the backpack. I don't even know what the hell it is, but I have it on the top on this guy. And then over here, I have it on the bottom. So yeah, you could just customize things and make it feel different. Look at that. And each one of these comes with one of these little discs that you could just put like anywhere on there. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of cables. So as you can see on this guy, I have like the cables going into his head, into the back of the head. And right here, there's like some 90s. Like this is a separate piece. There's just like so much you could do. So like if you need a 90, I love that they put the 90s and the couplings and all kinds of stuff in there. Or if you don't even want that, you can just plug this directly into these. Yeah, it's so cool. And then on this guy, I was talking about how his big old gun doesn't have a handle. When I was digging through his bag of pieces, there was a handle in there. But yeah, you could plug these long wires into the guns and stuff. And then check out how I have his backpack set up. Yeah, just so cool. And then him, I kind of kept it simple. Just a couple of short cables. The 90s on the coming out of the face here. And then you could even mount the guns on there using one of the little coupling pin things. Let's see if I can get this out so you can see what it is. Yeah, so just one of these. Plugged it in there. Plugged it in the hole in the gun. And then now he can mount his gun back there. So yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, this is such a cool way to approach these backpacks. Like, give them all these little pieces. And, you know, you could just change things up and make it unique between each figure, even though the backpacks are exactly the same. The paint goes a long way to make them feel different, but really, all these different attachments is really what makes them feel unique. So this is so cool. This is probably how I'm going to leave this guy set up. I like this a lot. With the gun mounted back there and the 90-degree pieces coming out of the face with the cables. I might leave all these guys set up like this, actually. So yeah, man. Oh, this cable, he's getting all tangled up. But yeah, man, this is so cool. I love the backpacks, and I love all the options to change things up and make each figure feel unique. And then, of course, each one of them comes with this really dope Monster Force Tombstone figure stand. And for some quick size comparisons, here we have the SleepWalkers alongside the Monster Force Declan Van Helsing and the Monster Force Nocturnal Delta Red Trooper. And then here we have the SleepWalkers alongside the Monster Force Dracula and the Monster Force Forgotten King. And the SleepWalkers do share a lot of parts with these two figures, but it's not quite as much as I originally thought. They do have like the same legs and the same upper arms, but the shoulders are different and then the forearms are different. So I didn't notice that at first. So yeah, it's cool to see that they at least changed up a few of the parts to make things feel different. And then here we have them alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Red Skull and the Marvel Legends Red Skull. And I definitely think these guys could go pretty well with Red Skull figures. I think it'd be dope to have like maybe a little squad of these guys to back up Red Skull. That'd be fun. This version of Red Skull doesn't necessarily work as good with these guys, but like if you have one of the ones that have like a black jacket, whether the Mezco one or the Marvel Legends one, I would say that that style would probably work with these guys a little better. But still, I think that any kind of Red Skull fits in with these guys pretty well. And then, of course, we have to have them alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and the Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And I think these guys would make for some great Hellboy villains too. So here we have them alongside the 1000 Toys Abe Sapien and the 1000 Toys Hellboy. And then here we have them alongside the Jada Toys Classic Wolfman and the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Zombie. And then last but not least, here we have them alongside the Unparalleled Universe Odious the Living Curse. And then on the opposite side, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Kirby, aka Jack King Kirby by NECA. So since these guys have the exact same bodies as all the other Monster Force figures, there aren't really any surprises in the articulation department. But I will say though, I am having the most fun playing around with these guys because I feel like they do the best job of balancing design and articulation. Just like some of the other Monster Force figures, these figures have overlays on the torsos, but they made it to where we could still use the joints in the torsos. So yeah, man, they killed it with these guys. I've been having a whole bunch of fun playing around with them. Been messing with them nonstop over the past week. So yeah, the fun factor on these guys is crazy. But let's go ahead and see what we have going on here, starting off at the head. So just like the other guys, he does have a ball joint at the lower neck and then a ball hinge at the upper neck. Using both of those, he's able to look down to right there, look up to right there, get some side to side, and then some tilting action. And what I love about the neck setup here is that you can rotate the neck itself on that lower ball joint so that you could change the direction of the hinge, and that way you could kind of have him tilting his head all the way to the side. And I think that works perfect for, like, you know, these weird zombie type soldiers that are under hypnosis. You could kind of have them creeping around looking crazy like that. So yeah, man, that's dope. And then for the torso, as I mentioned, there is the overlay, but there is a diaphragm cut and a ball joint at the waist. And because of this split right here, he's able to pretty much get full use out of the waist ball joint. And there's enough room in the upper side of the overlay that you can actually move the diaphragm cut a little bit as well. So using both of those and the neck kind of helps out, give the illusion that it's crunching more. Using all three of these joints, we get some pretty decent crunch forward. Obviously, that's not a whole lot, but considering that the whole torso is covered, like, that's not bad at all. I'm not mad at that. And then, you know, it could go back a pretty good amount, but then you'd have to shift things around to make sure that gap isn't there. But it goes back a decent amount. We get some like side to side movement, can twist on there. So yeah, you know, you're not going to get crazy crouching positions, but you could get like pretty dynamic looking stuff out of these two joints. So yeah, man. And like I said, like, this whole area still looks good. The overlay does its job. You know, the sculpt on there looks good, and the articulation is functional. So that's a good thing to kind of balance. You know, they did a good job with that. Just kind of want to show you how much the torso moves in different positions. Not a whole lot, but enough to have some fun with for sure. Yeah, man, that's dope. And then for the shoulders, let me get him situated. He's all jacked up now. For the shoulders, he does have butterfly joints. They have ball joints as well, so you could swing their arms all the way around. Bring them out to the side to about right there. They have upper bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. Swivel at the wrist, hinge at the wrist. The gun hands have vertical hinge. And then for the legs, they have drop down hips, but you know, that doesn't add too much. They're able to kick forward to about right there. And this piece of his jacket is soft plastic, so it just kind of gets out of the way, which is nice. So you could kick forward to right there. Kick back to right there. Kick to the side. Again, you know, using the neck and the torso. Look at that. That's like pretty decent. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Bam. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. And then let's see what else we have going on here at the legs. Oh, he does have upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee, boot swivel. Foot could go forward to right there, come up to right there, and then rocking ankles. So yeah, man, like I said, I'm having so much fun playing around with these figures, and I did not think that was going to be the case. I thought they were just going to be stiff, and the torso was not going to be able to move at all. I didn't expect the neck to get so much like dynamic movement. But yeah, man, these guys are so much fun to play with. All of the Monster Force figures have been pretty fun, but these guys have been the most fun by far. So overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, man, these guys are so freaking cool. I've been having so much fun playing around with these figures. Everything about them has been super enjoyable. From the articulation to all the crazy accessories, just everything about these guys is so much fun. Even though like they do have the same articulation as the other Monster Force figures, I found myself like playing with these guys way more than the other ones. I just feel like the articulation and the designs work really well together. They're fun to pose. You could get them into pretty dynamic poses, and the overlays don't really hinder things all that much. And then I love all the crazy accessories. Not only do these guys get several heads and a bunch of hands and energy effects and all that cool stuff, I love all of the modular pieces for their backpacks and for their masks and helmets and everything. You could change up things and make these figures feel unique. You know, you could set yours up in like a way that maybe someone else won't, you know, and the figure could feel very unique, but still like not like a full-on custom. It still feels like the figure that it's supposed to feel like. So that is really dope. That's a super fun feature. And also, I really love the designs of these guys. They just scream like super evil ass bad guys. I know they're not necessarily evil in the story. They're like under mind control, but yeah, I just love these uniforms for bad guys. I think it works really well. And I think that, in my opinion, these guys are by far the funnest out of all the Monster Force figures that they put out so far. These things came out so dope. The SleepWalkers are absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, if you're going to get like one thing from this wave, like just one figure to check them out, I would suggest one of these guys because they're just enjoyable all the way around. They're unique. They're fun. You know, they're customizable pretty much. And there's just a lot of good things going for them. So yeah, these things are awesome. I freaking love them. And overall, I think that the whole Monster Force Season 1 has been a huge success. All of these figures are really dope. Just to give you my very quick ranking, these ones are my favorites. followed by the Vampire Troopers, kind of tied with the Forgotten King. You know, they're pretty close to each other. I guess I'd give the edge to the Vampires, but right behind them, the Forgotten King, and then probably Van Helsing, and then in last place, Dracula. But all of them were really fun. Super dope figures. I love the line. Can't wait to see where else it goes. Can't wait for season 2. Yeah, man, they're killing it. So huge shout out to Big Bad Toy Store and Fresh Monkey Fiction for sending these out to me to review. If you want to buy these, you could pick them up at Big Bad Toy Store. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Be sure to use that link. It's helpful for the channel and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Thank you very much. Peace.